This car gets some of the most attention I ever seen any car get, period. I mean, over the exotics and everything, the questions are crazy. Would you say that the whole Japanese light theme is coming into the American market a little bit more?
I'll say about so, yeah, pretty much.
Does your family and your kids, are they supportive? Does it take time away from you?
It does take time away from me. I'm not gonna lie. They love it.
And your wife, she doesn't fight you. Hey, you're always working on the car.
No, we never had that issue.
So he's going to have to make the decision. Do I want to continue modifying or do I want to just stay as is? And this is where the stress, the financial, and what he wants to do in the next show. So
would you agree? Is that kind of stressful, what he's saying?
Nah, it's definitely stressful because you always want to be on top of the food chain, if you want to say it like that.
yeah.
Back to the rivals. Anybody, any friendly rivalry?
When you know who you are, the type of car you have, the type of build, you know, those rivalries, they just start to vanish, you know?
Of course, because they can't compete no more, right?
If you want to say it that way, yeah.
What's going on, guys? We're here with my man
Carlos
and Rico, Rix Magazine.
And you already know who I am. And we're standing here in front of this beautiful beast. What do you call this car, boss?
B127, which stands for the original name of Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. So it's a Camaro, right? What year is it?
It's a 2017 Camaro CO1.
And you had it since 2017?
That's correct.
And how long did you take to get it to where it's at right now? Did you work on it a lot?
I worked on it a lot, but it takes me, you know, throughout the years, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, until I got it where it is now.
Exactly. He's been working on it since the day we met, since 2017.
That's right.
2017 in Lisbon, New Jersey. Remember that day?
I do remember that day. Yeah, those are my favorite. When are those coming back?
That's coming October 13th, PA, Chester.
Will you be there?
Yeah, I'll be there for sure.
And you be winning best of shows too, right?
A couple of times, yeah.
He won Tokyo Meet 2023 in Queens, New York. He rocked out there, killed the game. And he also does the Puerto Rican parade, the Dominican parade with me. This guy's a beast this year. This is his year.
So this car's a champion.
You know how it is, man. We're in the house, you already know.
Best of show, that's a big deal, right?
Yes, it is. And actually, he was the honoree of the opening ceremony of the New York Auto Show for the 2024 season. So I'm super excited that he was chosen for that. Can't get any better than that. Can't get any better than that.
Now, with this car, there's a lot of DIY guys that do a lot of the stuff themselves. Did you do a lot yourself, or did you outsource it?
I'll say about 85 to 90% of what you see here, I had done it myself.
Oh, wow, you're a handy guy. Do you have your own shop too?
I actually work on it on my own time in the garage whenever I got time, but I try to do all by myself because I know how I like it, how I want it, you know?
Name some of the things you did yourself on it.
For example, the ambient lights, the music, the hood, I installed it myself. All the engine bay trims that you see, I did it myself. I actually installed the cargo box by myself. I installed the rims and the letters by myself. The white body and the wrap, we did it with my friends Empire Vinyl in Long Island. I installed my mirrors by myself, the steering wheel by myself, my headliner, I did it by myself, my sterilizer, I did it by myself. The whole trunk is all customized by myself.
So it seems to me with these heavily modified cars, right? Like we got another one right here, the Subaru. He did it a lot of stuff by himself. It seems to me that you got to be a handy guy to get a car looking like this to this level.
Definitely you have to be a handyman, and especially working on a Camaro, which is a lot more technological, if you want to say, when it comes next to the Subaru.
A lot of electrical stuff?
A lot of electric stuff that if you don't do it right, you might fry everything.
Okay, now, what was one of the bigger modifications that you did on this car that took the most time, cost the most money, and gave you the most headaches?
That's a good question, but I'll say the wide body.
Why is that?
Because I had to get new wheels. I had to make sure that the wide body fits perfectly with the line of the car because I don't know if you could tell, it's not bolt mount. It's adhesive double-side tape mounted. So everything needs to be aligned perfectly with the car because there's no bolts that pretty much holds it into the car. So a little slight misperfection and it will just pop out pretty much, yeah.
Have you ever had it kind of coming off?
When I first got it installed, if the car sits too long on the sun, the adhesive tape will get like soft, and if that part is not sitting well with the front of the car, it will pop out. But eventually, as you're going along and replacing the adhesive tape, it will just stay there. And luckily, I have no issue at all.
Now, does the vinyl work on the car help it stick to the car better?
It does actually, because if you have any issues with it, what's gonna get damaged is pretty much the vinyl and not the paint of the car.
All right, and I see that it's kind of like, it's a graphical vinyl wrap, right? Which means a computer did it, right? Who chose the design of this?
Of course the design, but all the ideas, picture-wise, everything that I wanted exactly where I wanted it, that was up to me.
Okay, so you sat down with a designer. How long was that process? I'm guessing it took a little while. You got a lot of detail in this.
It took me about 6 months to get everything together and about 3 months to pretty much have everything where I wanted.
9 months just to hit the yes button on the printer to print this vinyl out. You heard that, guys?
And keep in mind, this is his second Transformer theme of the project over the years that I've known this gentleman. But this is actually my favorite one that we have. So he's definitely stepped his game up. I don't know, in the next 2-3 years, he'll probably do another theme again. We'll see what happens.
All right, now some of the vinyl is glossy and some of them is satin. I just gotta ask, is the glossy one some type of laminate or something, or is it two different vinyls, one glossy, one matte?
Well, that's a good vision you have there because not a lot of people see that.
I wrap cars, you know?
Oh, okay, perfect.
Most of the questions I ask, I already know, but, you know,
He's the man.
I want him to say it so you guys can know, you know what I mean? So you guys can see our struggle with this vinyl. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all. The reason why I went with gloss and matte is because whatever you see in matte is pretty much the white body of the car, and whatever you see in gloss is actually the actual car.
Now, is it laminated, the satin part?
It is laminated different from the gloss. Yeah, correct.
Okay, and do you have some type of ceramic coating on it? Because I know that you must have spent a lot of money for this wrap, right? With all these graphics on it. So you want to take care of it. What type of ceramic coat you got on it?
I do not remember the ceramic coating that my guy used when he stole the wrap, but it does have ceramic coating on it.
It must be like some type of ceramic coating to bend around with the wrap as well. Not all ceramic coating goes on bendable wraps. You know what I'm saying? You got some that are for the flat wraps, which is the ones that goes on walls, and then you got the ones for the cars, which is the one that wrap around bumpers and all of that, right? All right, so what's up with the lights on this car?
Well, my headlights are done by lightning trends, my front and my rear. My ambient lights, like engine bay, my struck lights, the lights on the cargo box, they're all pretty much done by me.
Would you say that the whole Japanese light theme is coming into the American market a little bit more?
I'll say about so, yeah, pretty much.
It's becoming more accepted. I know we went to SEMA and they had a whole section of lights, right?
They did, grabbing the attention of everybody's out there. The attention everybody's seeing these lights on. Definitely, when we had them off, it was very light and very low. So I'm saying the lights come on, it's a light show, and it definitely attracts people. So it's something nice to have, and extra points for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Right,
definitely.
And speaking about attraction, man, we've been here for like a week now in the New York International Auto Show, and this car gets some of the most attention I ever seen any car get, period. I mean, over the exotics and everything, the questions are crazy. How do you feel about that?
I feel super happy about it because as a car guy, it's pretty much what we aim for. And, and I love doing this, and I appreciate Rico for having me because, just expressing myself to the people that ask me questions is just something that, it makes me happy about my build,
Do you ever get a little tired of it? I know you go to all of Rico's shows. People ask you the same questions over and over. Does the questions get tiring? You got to hide from people sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes I need a break and I have to run to the bathroom and be like, hey, listen, I'll be back, and go hi, bro.
Yeah. And you can't get somebody to stand there and answer the questions for you because they don't know what you've been through, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
speaking of what you've been through, you have a family, boss?
Yes, I do.
And you got kids?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Does your family and your kids, are they supportive? Does it take time away from you?
It does take time away from me. I'm not gonna lie, but they are very supportive from what I do, and they love it.
And your wife, she doesn't fight you. Hey, you're always working on the car.
No, we never had that issue.
Okay, so she's very, very supportive, huh?
She's very supportive when it comes to the car. Yeah.
And I'm guessing your kids are very happy and proud of their dad and what he has built, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm gonna throw something out there that I think it might help the other car heads. Never take for granted what you have, because One thing that I had learned having my kids and having my build is that a lot of people go crazy when they see this car, but I see my kids that sometimes they see it as a regular car. But it's not a regular car, you know, it's a car that is well built, so you gotta teach your kids that things like this, it takes effort for you to do, you know, so I appreciate what you have.
Do you have a kid old enough to ask you, hey, Dad, let me take my girl out?
No, not yet.
Not yet. What's the oldest son?
7 and 3.
Okay, so they're young enough, right? Do you think about passing it down someday, or are you thinking about maybe selling it and doing a different build?
No, I would love to pass it down, just for life. I actually had an offer from a guy from Dubai. He was giving me $135,000 for the car, but I rejected it.
Speaking of that, how much would you say, more or less, did you put into this car, not including the price of the car itself? What would you say?
So far, 97.
Like about, oh, you got the receipts, huh? You said that quick.
I got everything written down already. Yeah, I know how much I put down on the car.
And that's you working on the car. So if you were to outsource the work, what do you think that labor cost? How much would it add?
Listen, if I would have had like not done anything to my car like the way I do, 120.
120,000, including materials and labor. So what would you give advice to somebody that wants to build a car like this but doesn't got your expertise of, you know, hands-on, do it yourself? What would you give advice to somebody coming up with a car like this that wants to do that?
My best advice will be take your time thinking about what you're gonna do, because to build a unique car that you really want, that you know nobody else is gonna have, because otherwise you're just gonna waste your money buying things and changing them back again.
When you're looking around for shops to work on your car, is there anything you're looking for? Do you look at their Google reviews? Is it a word of mouth thing? What makes you want to work with a certain shop?
Well, luckily, I have built a lot of connections to the car scene and stuff like that. I have my own car club with Speed Gravity, so when we go to shows, we make a lot of connections, like in Rix Magazine shows and stuff like that, with the right quality shop. So we know that going to that shop is gonna, you know, make our dollar worth. So far, I have no issues with the shop that I have.
Okay, no issues ever with this car, with this build?
Well, you know, definitely you run into some issues, you know, when you're building a car like my Camaro is, they don't go above and beyond something that is not fixable, you know? So,
Yeah, so you know what you're doing then when you're looking for somebody to work on your car?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just with the wrap, I took 9 months just to get it right before even installing it into the car, so I take my time. That's why I tell everybody that is gonna build a car, take your time doing it. Because you don't want to express everything and then you run into some issues, you know, what's the point of that?
Let's just say, you know, you go to Rico's show again, the next one, and you already know he's best of show.
We don't always know. There's always somebody could show up and step up. There is other people that he has came across. The industry is crazy. You never know who's going to show up or who registers. And at the end of the day, it's up to the judge. We don't make that decision, but they'll see. Like last year, he came out the best of show. He was also surprised that he was the best of show Tokyo Meet. So they saw the next new look. He was it, and he definitely scored the highest score out of all the other competitors. It could change. If he leaves this as is at the next few shows, then what happens is he'll fall out the slot, and somebody else who steps the game up will fall into that slot. It's a moving up and down. You got to continue being creative. You cannot leave it the same every year. So we give him a chance for 1 or 2, but after third or fourth, we cannot repeat the same thing. So he's going to have to continue modifying, adding, changing, adapting to become the best of show winner. A very big challenge for him and our judges to find that out. So he's going to have to make the decision. Do I want to continue modifying, or do I want to just stay as is? And this is where the stress, the financial, and what he wants to do in the next show. So
would you agree? Is that kind of stressful, what he's saying?
Nah, it's definitely stressful because you always want to be on top of the food chain, if you want to say it like that. In a way, it's also good to give other candidates a little bit of how it is to win, you know?
Now, would you say, you know, speaking of other candidates, any rivals or any arch nemesis?
Love and hate industry. They love you one day and they hate you the next day. Am I right? As gentlemen, we support the one thing we love the most. And as you as well, we support the industry. That's what we got to keep moving. The industry is what we love, not the drama, the industry. And this is why business owners, shop guy, producers, we are all in this industry to keep it moving. So yes.
Back to the rivals. Anybody, any friendly rivalry that you want to mention? Somebody out there, you know, friendly, not no beef stuff, you know?
It's okay.
No, it's a good question because when I first started in the car scene, sometimes it got personal. When you know who you are, the type of car you have, the type of build, you know, those rivalries, they just start to vanish. You know,
Of course, because they can't compete no more, right?
if you want to say it that way, yeah.
And you know you were winning, obviously. So at that point, you can't say nothing to you, right?
Nah, yeah, you're right, because you know what, what's crazy too, that when I started Speed Gravity, clubs started like showing up, trying to compete with us, and it's a good thing, you know, and it's a beautiful thing when you do it right. But some people, you know, hating on this, hating on that, talking shit about this, talking shit about that. When it gets to that point, it's just ridiculous to me.
It's not fun no more, right?
Nah, it's not that fun. It's not that fun no more because, you know, you build these cars to have fun, make friends, you know, have connections, build a network. But some people make it personal, like life and death, and it's not that serious.
Yeah. Now, would you say, is it kind of hard to be humble, or you still remain humble throughout it all?
I think one of my biggest personality that I have on me is I always stay humble no matter what. Listen, I'm here today. Tomorrow I could be driving a bicycle. You know, you just never know. So being humble is one of my top priorities.
Some guys with cars like this, they're not really that humble. Oh, look at him in his car. He thinks he's cool, blah, blah, blah.
Now, you're definitely right. And you know what's crazy? You hear me talking here, but I'm a very, very quiet person. And when I stand next to my car, when I drive my car on a daily basis to the grocery or whatever, even though I don't take the car to the grocery, but when they see me stepping out of the car, the first thing that they see, because I have experienced it, they think that I'm a cocky guy. And I'm not. I'm totally the opposite. I'm funny. I laugh. I make a lot of jokes. And, you know.
He's like you, making jokes all the time.
Brother Carlos, man,
Hey, my
thank
pleasure.
you for the interview. I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate you supporting our car, guys.
For
Thank
sure,
you for
man, of
being
course.
with us. And thank you for the next podcast that we have. So
Stay tuned. Hopefully we could get this guy in the podcast room, right? What do you think about that?
Hey, let's do it.
Stay tuned. Keep watching. Homeboy, he's winning, literally.
Now, I just want to say thank you for having me. I appreciate the time. Rico, thanks for having me as well.
thank
You know, I
you. We
appreciate the
appreciate it.
opportunity.
Any IG? What's your IG name?
You can follow me on Instagram as Camaro_6gen. And you can also follow my car club as Speed Gravity, Speed_Gravity.
Go.
Thank you, man.
Not a problem.
Appreciate you,
My
man.
pleasure.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Signing out.
Sign it out. That's it. Peace.